Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're talking about Warrior again. And this time the lighting is a little weird. I don't normally light the Vectrex this way because I like to show off the glow of that magical vector screen. However, what we're talking about this time is not so much Warrior itself, but the havoc it wreaks on the controller. And I want to be able to show the controller well lit, so that's why we've got it this way. Let me start up a game here and I'll just tell you a little bit of what the problem is. Alright, so it's been calibrated, I'm playing along and I'm enjoying it immensely. Really love Warrior. But as I mentioned before in my my calibrating video, I'm really working this controller to death. I mean, I'm going to try and show you. Like, you really need to swing the sword a lot and move around, and I'm going to show you. I'm just like really cranking on the thumbstick, and I know these things ain't cheap. They're not exactly going for small money, and they are very delicate. There's little tiny springs in here that I don't really want to be doing too much damage to, but I find when I'm right in the heat of battle, I just find that I'm really cranking a lot on this thing, and I don't know that I want to keep doing that. Let's see if I can get this guy one more time before I make my point. There you go. In my calibrating video, I had mentioned that it would be nice. I know there are people that modify controllers to work with the Vectrex, and I'm thinking just to protect this one so it doesn't get too loose from me playing this thing, maybe I should get one of those. And then ironically, a fella on the Vectrex Fans Unite Facebook page, which I highly recommend, you check out those people, they're great guys, he happened to send out a note of, hey, I'm making some modded Sega Genesis controllers to work on Vectrex. If anybody wants one, let me know. And I jumped at the chance. I thought, yes, absolutely, because I think that would actually be a really good game with this kind of, or a really good controller for this kind of game. That way I can really ream on the movement here and not worry about too much about wrecking this controller. And like, again, you're both moving with it and you're swinging your sword with it as well. So I figure, yeah, give me a Sega Genesis controller and I might be a happy camper. It has arrived. Let's open it up and try it out. And here it is. Now, I know I just did an unboxing video, but this one's in a bag. So this is an unbagging video. This one's even got a convenient little pull tab to open. That didn't work very well. So we can just rip it open here. There we go. There it is. All right. So let's check this out. Okay, Sega Genesis controller. Looks very normal, just like any Sega Genesis controller. Obviously, the ends have had their little bits shaved off. Kind of like when I talked about hooking up the Atari driving controller into the Vectrex. I had to shave those little bits off. So, here it is. Feels like just any regular Sega Genesis 6-button controller. But now, let's hook it up to the Vectrex and try it out. Alright, I've now plugged it in. Let's try it out. There's nothing here that indicates what is button 1, 2, or 3, or 4, so that'll be kind of interesting. But it's gone in. Let's try it out. Let's see here. Can I get to the main calibration menu? Is that number 1? Nope. Where is number 1? Oh, start is number 1. Okay. And then we want to... Okay, we can move our little controllers, or little pits around. So let's drag them to the bottom. And I want to hit 2 to turn that off. That's not 2. Oh, okay, that's not going to work. So that must be number 1 then. Let's see if I can redo this again here. Okay, so if that's 1, then that must be 2? No, that must be 2. Is that 2? Where's 2? There's 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. Alright, so then back to 1. Move our warrior into the center. Hit 1 again, or 4. Nope, 1. There we go. Let's try this out here. Now, George mentioned that this would actually be quite usable. Oh, actually, you know what? This feels really good. Yeah. Well, okay, I died because I'm paying more attention to this controller. But it feels good with that thumb pad. As I mentioned in my previous video, I did ask George, like, if I was to use this controller, would it work? Is there anything weird about Warrior that it requires analog control? And he said no, and he's right. This actually feels very good, very snappy, very responsive. I really like, I mean, I've always liked the D-pad on the Sega Genesis controller, don't get me wrong. I have one of these already for my actual Sega Genesis. But this is nice. This feels really responsive. I feel like I can really hammer away here and not worry too much about damaging it. Yeah, I am very impressed. Very, very happy. Didn't cost me too much. I think it was like maybe 40 bucks, which, you know, honestly is how much a controller of that era went for. And it's a lot cheaper than a Vectrex controller, that's for darn sure. Yeah, I am liking this. It feels very good. Definitely a high recommendation, highly recommended for Warrior. If you want to protect the thumb, or not the thumbstick, but the little analog joystick on your Vectrex, and you're playing a lot of Warrior. Again, I know they're slowly getting their copies out there. I would actually recommend, if you can get one of these modded Genesis controllers, it's the way to go. Look at that. Well, since I've got it here, let's try this on some of the other games that I think really work well with a D-pad. Okay, let's try this out on Rockoroids. Oops. Of course, Rockoroids uses the 1 and 2 to rotate with, so it might not actually be the best one for this thing here. Yeah, not really ideal for Rockoroids. I mean, it's workable, but since there's no D-pad control, this is really not the way to go. Yeah, I wouldn't really bother with Rockoroids. I'm going to give Vectrex a try. Now, I did a video about this one already. It's an excellent Gravatar game. Let's see what this one's like with this controller. Oh, okay. I'm not showing you that I'm actually using the controller, but you can believe me that this thing is in my hands here. Actually, this is pretty good. Yeah, this feels really responsive. Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, that's the pause. There we go. Yeah, actually, this is quite nice. Quite a good way to play this game. Except for I keep pausing it. Darn it. Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to which button is which. Oh, I'm not even looking at the screen. It takes a bit of getting used to which button is which. I think I might actually label it, and also that might also serve me well so that I don't mistake this 6-button controller for the Genesis for my other 6-button controller, which is actually for my Genesis. Let's try some more games, but this time let's use ones that have an overlay. Alright, Vectrexians. Ooh, yeah. Now that feels proper. I mean, it doesn't feel too bad with the with that controller, but with this one, this feels a lot nicer because, you know, we've all played Galaxian and Galaga on Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo over the years, so it feels very natural to be using this controller for this type of a game. Any side-to-side shooter type. This is pretty good here. Definitely a recommendation. This is the way to play this. Yet another Space Invaders. This is a great overlay and a great game. Great rendition of the original Space Invaders game here. And yeah, obviously this feels... Oh, darn it. Okay, I can't really see very well. No, this plays very well, very responsive. A lot nicer than using the standard controller, because that left-right action, especially for a game like Space Invaders or Vectrexians, you want something that you can just easily jump back and forth and get all those things. Can I get the UFO? Probably not. Nope, no chance. Oh well. Yeah, yet another Space Invaders. Very good use for this thing. Okay, well, that's probably it. Now, just before I go, there's one more game I'd like to try this controller out with because it is surprisingly really good with another modified controller I've got, and that's because it mostly uses the buttons, but I have a sneaky suspicion, much like Rockeroids, I'm going to run into a problem that this game that I'm thinking of doesn't work very well using this controller because of the weird position of all four of them. Okay, Moonlander. Now this is a very, very good homebrew, but I have a feeling... Oop, darn it, it's paused again. Yeah, I have a feeling... Oh, it's gonna die! Yeah, this one, you really... Where the heck is it? Can't find the other direction. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's give that one more try. That's ridiculous. Yeah, this is really... I mean, this is a good game for needing the precision of a D-pad type game, but this doesn't actually use the D-pad. Now, it's not that I can't use the controller, but the position, like basically to rotate to the, in that direction, I have to hit the A, and to rotate in that direction, I have to hit the Y. So it's a little weird, a little counterintuitive. I think I'll just stick with my other alternate control scheme, which I will be doing a video about someday. This is okay. Ah, I died. Alright, well, that's Moonlander. At least that's a tempting Moonlander. Yeah, I am very, very, very pleased with this controller. This is a great way to do Warrior and Space Invaders and yet another Space Invaders and Vectrexians. I think anything that uses a lot of quick side-to-side, a D-pad type action, this is going to be a great controller for it. My one problem is, I don't know that is 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. I'm going to have to put little, I don't know, stickers nearby or put a label on there or something. But very, very happy. So yes, definitely as far as Warrior is concerned, get one of these controllers because you're really, this is a lot more replaceable than the controller is on the Vectrex. Okay, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.